meteorologist Paul Silvestri. Sports with Mitch Hayes on the station where news comes first, WSBT TV.
Good evening. Cindy will be back here Monday. The sister of Indiana State Representative B. Patrick Bauer of South Bend was killed in a car-train collision last night. Police say 45-year-old Betty Ann Bauer of 1010 Hudson in South Bend had just turned onto Olive Street from Washington and apparently drove around lowered rail crossing gates and was struck by the train. The impact pushed the car about 100 feet down the tracks. Bauer was thrown from the car. She was alone at the time of the accident. The collision happened about 9:30 last night. 33-year-old Jerry Amos of Louisville, Kentucky is in Memorial Hospital in South Bend tonight with leg and ankle fractures after an accident on the Indiana Toll Road in western St. Joseph County today. Amos was trapped in the mangled wreckage of his tractor-trailer rig for 15 minutes before rescue crews could free him. State police say Amos fell asleep and his truck struck the Chicago Trail overpass west of South Bend. Fire investigators say it may be a week before they find the exact cause of yesterday's explosion and fire at Mishawaka's Jamestown apartments. Damage has been set at $500,000. 28-year-old Dawn Spiker, who lived in a townhouse that exploded, was released today from the hospital. Spiker suffered burns but was rescued by a maintenance man. Investigators are looking to see if there was any connection between the blast and reports of gas leaks at Jamestown. The explosion and fire severely damaged 5 apartments. A 12-year-old Clay Township boy will remain in custody at Parkview Detention Home following a hearing today. The youth, whose name has not been released because of his age, was arrested Wednesday night on a charge of criminal recklessness. The charge stems from the April 11th shooting death of 15-year-old Adam Stokes, a friend of the boy in custody. Parkview Director Tom Fredericks said it was shown during today's hearing the youth did commit a delinquent act. Investigators have said the shooting was unintentional, but that it represented a careless act. The upcoming trial of Benton Harbor School Superintendent James Rutter is before the courts again. Today, Berrien District Judge Linda Tolan heard arguments from attorneys about whether testimony from a hospital x-ray technician should be admitted. Rutter is charged with attempting to resist arrest, speeding, and failure to display a driver's license following a scuffle with a Benton Township police officer on a traffic stop last year. The county prosecutor's office had sought to have the technician testify about conversations between him and Rutter at the hospital that night. The hearing was closed today, but a ruling as to whether patient-doctor statements are admissible will be issued Monday. An employee of Whirlpool Corporation in Benton Harbor will face embezzlement charges following an arrest on a 2-count felony warrant today. Berrien County Prosecutor Paul Maloney says 37-year-old Robert Louis Mendigo of St. Joseph has been charged with embezzlement of in excess of $100 and receiving and concealing stolen property. Maloney says the embezzlement concerns a conversion of Whirlpool property for personal use. Just what property is in question and the exact amount were not specified. Mendigo is free on a $1,000 personal recognizance bond, awaiting a preliminary hearing May 3rd. Maloney says his office and the Benton Township Police are also investigating additional unrelated cases at Whirlpool. Voters in the Berrien Springs School District will be making another trip to the polls in June as a request for additional operating millage is proposed again. The school board has approved putting a .95 mill request on the ballot for the annual school election on June 6th. The 5-year tax would raise $600,000 to repair roofs at the middle and high schools. Superintendent Ted Morris says the roofs at both buildings are seriously deteriorated, and school officials have even ruled out buying new buses with additional millage in favor of the repairs. In an April 11th election, voters approved a $17.4 mill operating renewal but turned down the request for the building repair tax. There's been a break in the 7-week-old strike against McCord Heat Transfer in Plymouth. Representatives of UAW Local 748 and the company have agreed to sit down together again at the bargaining table. WSBT regional correspondent Ray Roth reports.
Company and union negotiators will get back to the bargaining table with a federal mediator next Monday in an effort to settle the 47-day-old strike. The 320 members of United Auto Workers Local 748 walked off their jobs last March 6 after rejecting a new proposed 3-year contract by a 194 to 107 vote. Radiator manufacturer owned by Cummins Engine Corporation is one of Plymouth's oldest, largest, and best-paying employers. McCord officials had already announced before the strike that it was permanently laying off from 160 to 180, or about half of the union workers at the factory. The company is moving most of its major production lines to a new plant in Charleston, South Carolina, but says it wants to maintain an operation in Plymouth. The company has already moved a large amount of plant equipment out of the city and has set up temporary offices in South Bend since the strike began. Many of the union workers who voted to strike were not satisfied with the severance pay offered to those being laid off. In addition, there was a problem with vacation language and seniority rights. Sources say the two sides agreed to get together yesterday at the urging of the federal mediator involved with the case. The fact that negotiations will be getting underway again Monday is definitely good news. But even if they lead to a settlement between the union and company, it will all be overshadowed by the very legitimate fear that the 70-year-old company will be leaving Plymouth altogether before too long. From Plymouth, I'm Ray Roth, WSBT News.
And on the other side of Michiana, Goshen sewage customers may have to dip into their pockets to help pay the penalties in a utilities overcharge case. This month, a special judge in Marshall County ruled the city utility company overcharged 200 Goshen customers in their sewage bills. The ruling followed a class action suit filed by residents. The overcharge runs 9 years, from 1979 to present. It could cost the city utility up to $500,000 to reimburse residents. The utility has several ways to raise the money.
The city has a number of alternatives as to how they could pay that money to the class action suit. We could have a one-time property tax rate increase for 1 year to pay that off. The city could have some money that they would loan to the utility, which then the utility would have to pay back to the city of Goshen. The third alternative is that we could have a short-term rate increase in our sewer department to pay off this.
Bureau says the amount of money needed will be determined by a judge later this year. Still to come, an up and down week on the stock market. So what's the best investment? We'll have a report. And taking a jump for joy and for a good cause.
Tonight's my night to cook, so I just whipped up a few quick, delicious dishes with minute rice. First, we'll start with minute rice garden medley, then we'll move on to minute rice Chinese chicken, followed by minute rice seafood cacciatore, but I'm sure even such a superb supper will simply not suffice. So then we'll sample a little minute rice sweet and sour chicken, seafood salad, stroganoff, and then I also plan plain...
Light, fluffy minute rice comes out perfect every time.
Minute rice Florentine. That's not to mention that we'll get the creamy almond and minute rice and broccoli with two cheese.
And now there's new minute boiling bag rice. When it comes to quality and convenience, there's nothing like minute rice.
Jordan's of Elkhart will give you cash, up to $1,000 cash, with the purchase of almost any new Lincoln or Mercury in stock. Drive something luxurious. Lincoln's Town Car, undiminished size with uncompromised luxury. Mercury Topaz offers standard features that most car makers consider options. Jordan's wants to be your Lincoln Mercury dealer. We've made special arrangements for Cougar buyers, 6.75% APR, plus up to $1,000 cash back.
Nobody beats the Jordan's deal at Jordan's Discount Center.
Jordan's of Elkhart, corner of California and Napanee, 12 minutes from University Park Mall.
2 great chairs at 1 great price at the Lazy Boy Showcase Shop. Yes, 2 Lazy Boy Lazy Rockers for 1 great price of $349, or 2 Lazy Boy Recliners for an amazing $399. Genuine Lazy Boy chairs available in 50 styles and 300 fabrics. It's your choice from over 700 chairs in stock. Mix or match, savings up to $450. And if you only need 1 chair, we'll cut the sale price in half. 2 great chairs for 1 great price at the Lazy Boy Showcase Shop, Main and LaSalle, downtown South Bend.
Hello? Yes. It's the police. They've got Bill again. If your family is being destroyed by a teenager on drugs or alcohol, there's a special place with help for your child. Koala Adolescent Center. When you call, a Koala professional is ready with real help and with hope. For the answers you need in total confidence, call Koala Adolescent Center. Koala can help.
This was a week to ride the waves in the stock market, and here with the story is Craig Blue, financial consultant at Shearson, Laban Hutton. Craig?
Thanks, Luke. Futures-related program activity took the market for another ride today, but this time the direction was mostly up. The same story was played out earlier in the week as the Dow stock average traded in a narrow range all week. On the week, the Dow managed only a 1-point gain, finishing at 2,015, but it recovered nicely from its low point of the week on Wednesday. Traders said no news stirred the market and buyers were few until today. Although volume was moderate all week, There was some heavy trading volume today in some high-yielding stock whose dividends are due soon. Analysts said futures-related trading became a major, sometimes dominating force this week, partly due to uncertainty about the course of the dollar and interest rates. Brokers said the program activity made many institutions and traders wary of the market. The bond market likewise failed to attract investors back into the market. The 30-year T-bond yield rose to 9% on the week. One-year CD rates climbed to 7.45%. And that, Luke, is the tale of the tape for this week.
Okay, Craig, we've been in somewhat of a volatile market for some time now. How can investors protect themselves from this dramatic downturns when they happen?
Well, if they own stocks listed on an exchange, for example, they can utilize a device called a stop order. That's a standing order on file at the exchange, which is triggered when their stock trades at or below a price threshold which they've selected.
Okay, so if I bought a stock, say, for $100 and I didn't want to see it go down below $85, then I could put in a sell order for $85, is that right?
Right, a sell stop order. It'd be activated when your stock traded at 85 or less, then you'd get the next price right after that trade. Basically, rule of thumb is when a stock drops about 20%, most of the time it's going to continue to go down. What you want to protect yourself against is a dramatic loss like that.
Okay, so what if you're invested in a mutual fund then?
Well, you can't use this strategy directly. What you have to do is maybe take note of where the Dow average was when you bought into the fund. Then if the Dow average drops down a specific amount, that you would then take yourself out of the marketplace.
You just kind of have to keep your eye on things then, right?
Exactly.
Oh, and what if viewers want to know more about questions in the stock market?
Well, they can write to us here at the station. We'll get them a brochure on whatever topic they might have on their mind.
Okay, Craig. There's the address. Thank you for joining us. And look, Ma, I'm on TV, and it's for a good cause, too. This little guy was mugging for the camera for Picture Them Safe, a video identification program for children. South Bend, Mishawaka, and Indiana State police officers and a local merchant set up shop at Scottsdale Mall, putting a video record of kids on VHS tapes provided by parents. Police also fingerprinted children. And just in case the little guys were a little wary of going through the lineup, Paddington Bear was there to put them at ease. Picture Them Safe will be in operation again tomorrow from noon to 5. You've heard of the phrase jump for joy, but how about jump for money? The Notre Dame MBA Association has been doing just that in their Jump-a-thon to raise money for the American Cancer Society. From noon yesterday until 3 o'clock this afternoon, about 300 students have jumped, flipped, and bounced. For 27 straight hours on a trampoline, students hope to raise about $2,500. And Notre Dame football coach Lou Holtz gave the alumni and fans a pep talk today. Mitch Hank has the story coming up in sports.
Basney Ford now has the Midwest's largest selection of bivouac van conversions with over 50 in stock ready for immediate delivery. These are fully equipped vans complete with V8, automatic, air conditioning, stereo cassette, and much more. And now for a limited time, you can purchase one for only $298 per month. That's right, a fully equipped bivouac quality van conversion for only $298 a month. And remember, it's only at Basney Ford, and that's a fact.
Almost anything, Big R's got it.
Take care of your yard with a 12-horsepower MTD tractor for just $999.95. It features a Briggs & Stratton IC engine complete with 2-year engine warranty and a 38-inch high vacuum deck. Save 20% on all Design House exterior and interior light fixtures. And keep things cool with the Design House ceiling fan for only $29.95. Price is good through Saturday.
Anything, Big R's got it. Big R stores at your Big R stores.
Dad, next time, let's rent a forklift. A lamp! Whoops.
What's that smell?
Smells like something died over here.
It's over here.
Wait, it's your shirt.
Clothes this dirty need Surf, the liquid detergent that gets out not just dirt and stains, but odors, too.
Looks clean, huh? Yeah. Smells okay, too.
Can somebody help me move this piano?
In liquid and powder, Surf removes the dirt and the odors.
It takes all kinds of people to make the world go round. Everyone marches to the beat of their own drummer. That's why Big Sur Waterbeds has a bed for everybody. In fact, you'll find over 30 water beds priced under $300, all available with matching bedroom furniture. No one else but America's Largest can offer you the selection and the value that Big Sur can. So come on, bring that body on in to Big Sur Waterbeds, America's Largest, 5701 North Grape Road, just south of University Park Mall in Mishawaka.
And we're going to have to find out what life is like without Tim Brown next season, huh?
Oh, that's right. That's not a happy thought for the coaching staff, Luke. Just like a football weekend this weekend, Fighting Irish coach Lou Holtz is never at a loss for words, especially when he is in front of a microphone. Today, the coach addressed the several hundred fans at the annual Blue Gold Luncheon. Lou says replacing Tim Brown is no fun.
I was hoping that Tim Brown would pass up the draft and come back for a 5th year. I was very disappointed when this did not transpire, and only recently did we come to the realization that there will have to be football at Notre Dame without Tim Brown. It's a very sobering fact, but we put Mark Green out there for approximately the first 14 practices. I think Mark Green can be a good flanker, but he's also going to be a senior. A year from now, we'd be faced with the same situation replacing Mark Green. So we are going to look at Mark Green at tailback and a flanker, and for the last 2 days, we put Ricky Waters out at flanker. Ladies and gentlemen, he's natural there. I think there's a good chance he'll end up being there, although in the spring game tomorrow, he'll play at both.
We'll hear more from Lou Holtz at 6 o'clock. Tim Brown is not the only Notre Dame player who will be drafted Sunday or Monday. Here are some potential first-round picks from Notre Dame. Cedric Figueroa, well, he doesn't play offensive line. That's offensive line backer. Chuck Lanza at center is also one that the pro scouts say may be the top center in the draft. Tom Rader, offensive line. Byron Spruill, also an offensive lineman, may go in the first round. Brandy Wells, defensive back. These are Fighting Irish players that may go. Now at Purdue, the Boilermakers, Chris Dishman, cornerback, he may go. James Medlock, outstanding fullback, and Fred Strickland, one of the best linebackers in the country, may go in the first round. Indiana has a couple of players. Ernie Jones out of Elkhart, wide receiver, and Van Waiters, the linebacker. They all may go very early. Indiana football coach Bill Mallory is pleased with the way his team performed in the annual Cream and Crimson game yesterday. Anthony Thompson carried the ball 27 times for 146 yards, including one for 50. Thompson's Crimson team won the scrimmage 14-9. Pete Stoyanovich kicked a 40-yard field goal for the Cream. The Hoosiers opened the 1988 season at Rice September 10th. The Indianapolis Colts have signed free agent defensive lineman Joe Klecko to a 2-year contract. The 11-year veteran was released by the Jets after he failed a physical following knee surgery. The Colts gave Klecko a physical, and he received passing marks. Colts general manager Jim Irsay says the team is close to signing veteran quarterback Joe Ferguson, who was released by Detroit after last season. It looks like the deal that sent quarterback Kelly Stauffer to Seattle for defensive back Kenny Easley is final. Stauffer's agent says it's a done deal. Remember, Stauffer was drafted in the first round by the Cardinals last year, but elected to hold out for more money. If he doesn't sign the dotted line with Seattle before midnight tomorrow, he'll go back in the draft. Providence University has hired Rick Barnes as its new head basketball coach. Barnes coached George Mason to 20 wins last year. He succeeds Gordon Chiazua, who resigned last month after leading the Friars to an 11-17 record last year. We've got a feature coming up at 6 on a Notre Dame tennis player with a great future. That's Chiazza is the last name of that Providence coach.
All right, yeah.
Chiazza.
All right.
He likes Cheez-Its. No, he doesn't.
I thought that sounded funny for a moment there.
Okay. Well,
meteorologist Paul Silvestri says the weekend is made for staying inside, and with that in mind, we'll go live to show you some fun inside from the rain.
Because you asked for it, we're repeating our best sale ever. And from now till Monday night at Town & Country Chevrolet, you can buy a brand new 1988 Chevy Cavalier for just $149 down and $149 a month. That's right, the area's most popular cars, the 88 Chevy Cavalier, for just $149 down and $149 a month. Now, that's the lowest true price you'll find anywhere. But hurry, this sale on Cavaliers ends Monday night at Town & Country Chevrolet on McKinley in Mishawaka.
Eyeglasses in 1 hour? That's right. Here at Vision Express, we have the finest quality eyeglasses ready for you in just 1 hour, including bifocals and trifocals. How do we do it? We have a modern glassed-in lab where you can actually see your eyeglasses being custom-made right in the store, and thousands of frames for you to choose from, including the latest designer eyewear. Call this number now for an eye exam or bring in your own prescription.
superstores declared war on high prices. A price war to end all price wars. New shipments are arriving daily. And to help in the war effort, Highland has enlisted extra salespeople. Get bombshell savings like this sharp auto-reverse cassette car stereo with free normal installation for just $95. So when the doors open, march into Highland with your best price. We'll blow the competition right out of the water. Highland's Price Wars.
This could be our finest hour.
I can't tell by feeling which cotton socks were washed in which fabric softener, which belonged to my husband and which belonged to some other guy. Which is which? But with my eyes open, I can see that this is whiter and this is brighter. It could only be Final Touch. It could only be Jack.
Whiter, brighter softness. Only Final Touch fabric softener.
Did anyone ever tell you that you have beautiful feet?
And Paul Silvestri is back now after a trip to the dentist. This low pressure can make those teeth hurt, can't it, Paul?
It really can, yeah, Luke. And we have a good one developing in the midsection of the country right now. Actually, what we need, it's been kind of a cool April. Folks are wondering, when is spring going to arrive? When's it going to warm up around here? We need some storms now to start circulating that air and pushing some of that warmer air up in our direction. And as I say, we'll see a pretty good one in a moment. First of all, it's 53 degrees outside currently, and that's the high temperature for the day so far. Still well below our normal high, which now is 62 degrees. East wind at 16, gusting to 23 miles per hour, so it's windy outside. The relative humidity, 48%. The barometer is falling, and no precipitation in the past 24 hours. Again, temperatures a little bit chilly for the season as we check them out across the Midwest. Noticing readings generally in the 50s, but what's going on in Milwaukee? 39 degrees at the current time. Well, what's going on is they have a wind blowing off of Lake Michigan's water, which is keeping them certainly on the chilly side. Low temperatures tonight really won't be dropping much, somewhere in the mid-40s or so for our low temperatures. And here's the latest satellite picture, and we can see now a storm center developing across parts of Nebraska, which has been bringing rather heavy snows to parts of Nebraska. Mullen, Nebraska has received so far 15 inches of snow, and it's still snowing rather heavily in that portion of the country. However, this is the warmer section right here across Missouri and Illinois, and this is where some heavy showers and thunderstorms are expected to develop over the next hour or so, and for that reason, the National Weather Service has issued a tornado watch for that region. Not expecting any heavy weather here tonight, though. The South Bend National Weather Service radar not showing much on the 60-mile range. However, as we expand out, I can show you a very heavy thunderstorm just west of O'Hare Field in Chicago. So my forecast for tonight, look for cloudy, windy conditions with a few scattered showers. Low temperature about 42 degrees and east-southeast winds gusting to 25. Then for Saturday, cloudy, windy showers and some thunder showers. Highs warming up into the mid to upper 60s, and again, a strong south-southeast wind, 12 to 25 miles per hour. So we're trying, Luke, we're trying to warm things up. I think we're going to do it a little bit tomorrow. Unfortunately, it's going to be windy and rainy as well.
Yeah, some moderating temperatures there. We'll take that part anyway.
We sure will.
In case you haven't heard yet, we're all invited to a party in Chicago tonight. But you don't have to drive 2 hours. Just drive to South Bend's Century Center, because the Carnival for the Arts has brought Chicago to us. Rebecca Barr is standing by with the biggest party ever is about to start. Rebecca, how's it look so far?
Luke, it's great. If you want to lose your blues, just come to Chicago. I've been strolling through Grant Park just trying to figure out what to do this evening. I could have dinner at the Italian Village, a little seafood down at Navy Pier, and then after that, I may go to Ain't Misbehavin' at the Goodman or hear the Roland Kelly Singers at the Schubert. And, of course, I've got to take in My Little Chickadee, starring W.C. Fields and Mae West, and two of the biggest stars in town are with me right now. You two have been together for so many years. How did you do it, Mae?
Well, honey, he's a man.
And that's all it took.
It took indomitable perseverance, Miss Mara, but we've managed to sustain our relationship. Yes, indeed.
Mr. Fields, do you like children? I heard you don't like children very much.
I think that rumor has been grossly overrated. I prefer them medium rare, however.
Just a little bit of the humor you'll be hearing this evening from W.C. Fields, who, of course, is our County Prosecutor Mike Barnes, and his cohort here is Charlie Odekirk. And I'm going to take in a little jazz on Rush Street, too. I hope you all will come on down. Carnival for the Arts, of course, supports the arts in our area, and it runs from 6 o'clock tonight to 1 a.m. and also tomorrow evening. So come on down, Luke.
Sounds like quite a... No. In just a moment, making a quilt that stretches from Michiana to Washington.
It's something special, and you know it.
Ayers.
And it's happening only at Ayers.
Ayers April Sale.
Ayers April Sale is now.
Ayers April Sale is here. Ayers April Sale is here. And here, and here.
Ayers has more of what you want at their big store-wide April Sale, now through Saturday. So hurry and save while it's here.
Ayers April Sale is here.
The big Nissan cashback program is still going. You can still buy a Sentra and get from $500 to $700 cash back from Nissan, or any Stanza and $1,000 cash back, or any standard pickup or hard body special and $500 cash back from Nissan. So come in now, while we've still got cars and cash.
Goshen College. You probably know something about us, our academic excellence in a Christian context, our distinctive international program. But did you know the New York Times calls us one of the best buys in college education? That Changing Times magazine cited our quality education for a dramatically lower price. That U.S. News & World Report calls us one of America's best colleges, where ethical values are lived as well as taught. Goshen College, one of America's best. Get to know us better.
Imagine one of the most beautiful and gracious dining rooms in Michiana is in a retirement center. This is Tanglewood Trace, a delightful apartment home residence for men and women age 62 and older who stay active while enjoying superb security. Visit Tanglewood Trace and see the superb apartment homes facing attractive atriums where residents enjoy spring-like greenery, no matter what the season. See Tanglewood Trace, 1 mile south of University Park Mall, Michiana's finest retirement center. Call today to schedule your tour of Tanglewood Trace.
It's a long way from Shipshewana to the nation's capital, and from standing before an elementary class to standing before President Reagan. But Kevin Miller's class at Shipshewana Elementary bridged that gap today. The students are a mixture of Amish and city kids. For a class project, they made a special bicentennial quilt. The red, white, and blue embroidery first caught the eye of Indiana Senator Dan Quayle, and then the White House. Today, Miller's class made the presentation of the quilt to President Reagan outside the White House. For these Shipshewana students, a little thread brings a lot of special memories. The CBS Evening News is next, and we'll be back at 6 with more news. The mudslinging campaign continues as the candidates for 2nd District County Commissioner dispute who's not doing anything about the dump. The verdict is finally in from the 9-day trial. Tonight, we'll look into the decision that came down for Philip Keller. And with the warm weather comes outdoor activity. And among the most popular for kids is getting around town on a moped. Tonight, we'll show you how more dangerous the mopeds can be compared to regular bikes. For all this and more, join us again in just 1/2 hour. We'll see you then.
Absolutely free. Jordan's Auto Mall will give you a free sunroof with the purchase of any new Ford Escort, Tempo, or Mustang. Want more? How about Jordan's low monthly payments? Ford Mustang LX 5-speed, $124.48 a month, or a Ford Escort GL loaded, only $139.76 a month.
At Jordan's Auto Mall, nobody beats our prices.
Could be the beginning of a beautiful and lasting friendship. Shop Harding's just once, and we bet you'll be back. For the finest in meats and fresh foods, helpful, friendly service, and weekly specials like these.
Drop a can of pure premium orange juice, 64 ounces, just $2.18. And high C drink boxes in all varieties, only 68 cents a 3-pack.
Shop Harding's just once, and you'll find a friend for life.
Three's Company, weeknights at 6:30 on TV 22.